Man, I kept on getting Jeffrey Dean Morgan flashbacks with you a few times here.
So funny. He's a buddy of mine, and and I see that. I can see that. We have a similar thing occasionally, and
Oh, that's
we
cool.
shared a manager many years ago, and she fired us, both of us.
Max, I mean, guessing this whole new you think could be a new way maybe that AI is going to replace directors, right? Or cameramen with with zooming in and out.
Oh, with the zooming in, yeah.
Oh man. Where in the world are you? I'm guessing LA maybe?
I'm in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm originally from New York. I'm
Yeah.
kind of making my way back east, but right now I've been in LA for a little bit.
There you go. I
Yeah.
mean, you're working a lot. I'm guessing I'm guessing another project's coming up for you too.
I just finished doing press for a movie called Osiris that's out on streamers now.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Grit, obviously that we're going to talk about, and then
Yes.
I have a movie called Bethesda coming out, and another one called Flint coming out. One Bethesda's a modern Western, and then Flint is like 1870s
Oh wow,
Western.
you're doing it
Yeah,
all, man. I mean, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Couple bucket list movies like the Westerns for sure. That was a genre I hadn't explored yet, but now
First time, huh? For a Western?
yeah, oddly,
Huh.
yeah. And I ride and I shoot, and I kind of have all the skill sets for to be in one, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I finally got one, so
There you go. I mean,
times.
listen, I've seen a lot of your work. This movie, I'm telling you, Hollywood Grit and the character you played, Grit here, might have been one of my favorite roles for you. I just felt
So fun.
you made it look effortless. You know, it was just
So
so cool.
fun.
Like we're hanging out with like kind of a really flawed regular dude that has a high stakes thing, but yet deals with all these shady people and humor and kind of I just love the sort of the freedom of this character. Did it feel that way too when I was watching? Like this dude's crazy, but he's a badass and fun.
Well, I mean, historically, I play, military
Yes,
guys, bad guys, and
more serious guys.
but more serious guys. And as long as I can remember, for as long as I can remember, my friends have always said, "Dude, you got to do a comedy." Like, well, how are you not getting comedies? And so this was fun because Grit is you're right. He's got a little bit of that Bruce Willis kind of like,
Yeah,
in on the joke, wink, wink, self-deprecating hero, that it makes it really fun to play. And Ryan, who was a fan of before the movie, and now I'm just a huge fan of, is kind of just let me go, which was amazing. I mean, if I went too far, he'd bring me back. But it was very collaborative, and he kind of just was, anxious to see what I was going to bring to the character and to the page. So
did he sort of give you a lot of freedom to sort of work? Because it seems like you made this character not only your own, but man, like he's probably improvising some of these things too.
I mean, I don't know how much there was a lot of like maybe improvised moments, but
Mm,
not a ton of dialogue that was improvised. Um, but yes, it was very freeing. I mean,
yeah,
the thing that as an actor, it's like when you have a character like this that can be as goofy as he wants to be, as long as you stay committed to the intention and the scene, right? And you're free, but then you have that freedom to kind of explore the boundaries of, it's the rules you can just throw out the window. I mean,
yeah.
when there's no rules, it just becomes an amazing experience. And but you have to be willing to fall on your face and not really care what people think that are watching you, right? So, I mean, I did a lot of crazy stuff that didn't make the movie, but the stuff that's in it, I'm really proud of.
You know, speaking of exploring, I think your character here, Grit. has an interaction with everyone that appears in a movie, every character, every actor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unique because sometimes, you don't get to be part of a different side of a storyline or a different person in a story, but here you come across so many different characters and scenarios. I mean, was it kind of cool? Because almost every scene you're sharing it with a new actor in a sense, and then kind
But
of
here's
back
what's
around.
amazing. This was kind of a friends and family film, like
Mm,
one of the actors, Dave Meadows, I did Captain Phillips with.
there you
Uh,
go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
As the camera zooms in, I don't know what it was zooming in on. Um, in Ryan, I met through Dave and Link. We all sort of had a connection to each other. Tyrese was the guy that we hired that came in from the outside.
Uh-huh.
Um, but it was so, it was very familiar. The set was it was kind of just like buddies getting together and making a movie, and Scott, our producer, we were friends with him and producer financier. Uh, and so, yeah, I mean, and again, that really lent to the tone, right, of the film. It was
Yeah.
like, it was kind of had this kind of Always Sunny in Philadelphia buddy film kind of feel to it, and like we just went, okay, let's just go play, But I'm so proud of it. I think it's so interesting. And what Ryan did
Mhm.
for me, which I loved about the movie when I saw it, I got a sense of it when we were doing it, but more so after I saw it cut, was this kind of like fusion of two styles. It was there were sort of there were it was an homage to noir films, but then it also, like you said, had this kind of like, fun 80s action film
Hmm.
vibe that, makes it unique, and it makes it fun. I think people are gonna love it.
Yeah. I personally love the hard-boiled detective, noir thing. I just think that genre is timeless in a lot of ways. I mean, it's like technically, it's always sort of placed in like, the 60s, 50s or whatever, but it could be timeless as this movie shows it. I think it's more about the grit, no pun intended, of like a city and the people in it. And it's like it's a modern film noir detective movie, which is really cool too. And I just thought about it, like all the best film noir sort of detective movies usually happen in LA. Sometimes New York, but LA is always that scene for this sort of detective thing. I
Yeah,
mean, you think about Chinatown, all these movies. Like over the years, it's just always seems to be LA's the backdrop of it. Did you
yeah.
ever notice that trend?
I did notice that, but and at a certain point, I was like, I told Ryan, I go, if this guy gets back into private investigating, there's the Miami grit, the New York
Yes.
grit, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He could just travel and with his bottle and and, and solve crimes. It'd be hilarious. But yes, I have noticed that it's always L.A. or what did you say, New York? I guess it was, I
Yeah,
guess
New
yeah.
York too. Yep, is a big
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
It's just a unique sort of character part of that genre too.
yeah.
It's like I like a movie like this because I don't think we make these movies anymore enough, and it's
No.
still clearly this movie shows that there's a place for these sort of stories and the genre too. I thought it was really refreshing what Ryan did here because, in an era of reboots and remakes, we get something a throwback, but it feels original in its own way.
And it's also void of VFX, right? Computer
Right?
generated
Yeah.
anything and everything, which we're just overloaded with now, So I mean, there's that too. It's a old school, entertaining, grab some popcorn and enjoy the ride type of film, and for that alone, I think people should support it because it really brings us back to what films used to be.
Yeah. and that whole journey of trying to figure out who's the bad guy, who did it,
Right,
who's
right.
it's a fun experience for the viewer to sort of track it along, with grit here in a sense. We're
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
accompany him for this ride to try to figure out what's going on really.
Yeah, you got a good beat on it, it sounds like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was super fun watch and interesting and you just like you nailed it. It was that character was so fun to invest into too.
Oh,
Because
thanks, man. Yeah.
I think we do feel a connection always to flawed characters. I feel they just become more real when you watch them
Yeah.
because sometimes you see these, overly glorified, like beautiful people or these like, top-notch like military dudes that's like you can't relate to. Like they're a whole nother class of its own. But this guy, he's just a dude, in so many ways that has
Yeah.
a background as a detective, but that flawness of him is relatable.
Well, you got to make you exactly. That's the key word, right? It's like, as an actor, when you approach a character, even a bad guy, right? You want to make him relatable and even, maybe likable, right? So
Yeah,
that the audience is conflicted. You want to take the audience on a ride. So you've got a guy that's he's a crappy father, he's a
yeah,
drunk, he can't keep a job, he smokes, he's like, he's the police force turned on him. So how do you turn that guy, how do you make that guy likable? Well, you got to just go make him goofy.
yeah.
Fun, happy-go-lucky and goofy, right? But without losing the urgency of, finding his daughter who's gone missing. But he's got to have fun, and that's how you do it. It's a nice challenge as an
Yeah.
actor. And
By the way,
then the
oh,
writer,
mhm.
Christina Denton and Ryan Curtis were, the script was so funny. They're so great with dialogue and situations and so I mean, look, I mean it all starts with them and the script had a lot of this stuff in it already, so I just say the words you
You
know
know what I actually like? I know you guys shot this around LA, which makes it even so much cooler because it's relatable
yeah,
and people can recognize some of these spots. But those apartments, I love the windows in them and like the view of those apartments. The Grits apartment, it seemed like everyone had a
yeah,
similar sort of apartment. It like
yeah,
I'm like, where is this located? I mean, that's an
yeah,
awesome sort of place.
yeah. We shot pretty much. I mean, I think all the apartment stuff was in and around Santa Monica, so they're
Ah,
all it's
okay.
kind of like old beachy apartments, and
Yes.
see the water. But yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool. I was wondering, I'm like the
yeah,
greenery and like the big windows and the natural sunlight. I'm like, that was kind of cool for a genre like that. That was the light of it, in
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah,
You've done, like I said, I've seen so many of your work, and you played some real badasses and hard asses,
yeah.
in the work you've done, some high end soldiers. Do you have like how much training did you go through all these sort of roles you've done? I feel like you probably know a thing or two about not only handling a gun, but just like the lives of some of these, tough guys in a sense that you've played too. I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, at this point, if my character doesn't have some sort of a weapon, I feel really awkward.
Yeah.
Um, but we do a boot camp every time there's
Hmm.
a military type film. I mean, Osiris that's on streamers now, and also Dave Meadows from Hollywood Grid is in Osiris with me.
Yeah.
But we did a boot camp with a SEAL team, former SEAL Team 6 operator, so we
Uh-huh.
get some pretty high speed guys and you stay dialed in, right? Like the tactics change and evolve over the years, so you just have to stay up to speed but yeah, I mean, I've done whew, the first military film I did was Saving Private Ryan. So that was like,
Wild.
back in 1996 or seven or yeah, and we did a World War II boot camp for that. Captain Phillips, I don't think we did a boot camp, although I did get taken out to the former Blackwater training facility. It's called Academy now, and did like tactical training with the Navy SEALs and, hostage rescue scenarios. And I mean, I'm always doing stuff like that. And, but I went to art school, man. Like
Wow.
I know it's like I don't know how I ended up playing this guy all the time, but and I do get to play other characters. So when
Yeah.
those opportunities come along, it's really fun. But I have a very loyal military fan base that I like to keep small.
100%. I'm sure
Yeah.
many were surprised when you turned up in 50 Shades, franchise.
They were shocked. Even more so, I did a voice of an animated character in My Little Pony, and that threw everybody off a little bit. It's fun.
Max, the versatility you have, that shows you why you're working so consistently and so much.
You're too
So
kind. You're too kind.
you got to test your waters. As I wrap up here, I'm curious. Like I said, I've watched your film life in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What are you sort of like in your everyday life? What are some of your hobbies, interests, things you like to do to sort of get away from all of that, when you're these characters and stuff?
I mean, I'm in the gym. The gym is a daily thing for me, so I'm very
Nice.
much into health and fitness, and I ride motorcycles. I'm out on my bike a
Oh,
lot.
cool.
Yeah, I'm a dad. I'm still my kids are a little bit older, but I got one in film school and one that wants to get into entertainment law. So we are now collaborating on little projects, which is really fun, and super proud of those guys. And I got an amazing girlfriend, and we're big foodies, and I'm living the SoCal life, man. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, working out and eating sushi. That's what we do.
And you know what? Enjoying the simple things. I love that. That's what
Yeah,
it's about.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just kind of doing the basic everyday things and enjoying them.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a great perspective, man. By the way, for some reason, I don't know if it was the character or something, it reminded me early in this movie of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I don't know what it was, maybe the cadence of how you were talking. I'm like, man, I kept on getting Jeffrey Dean Morgan flashbacks with you a few times here.
So funny. He's a buddy of mine. And and I see that. I can see that. We have a similar thing occasionally. And
Oh, that's
we
cool.
shared a manager many, many years ago. And she fired us, both of us. And the minute she fired us, I remember seeing him on the street going, "What now?" And then we both took off. It was hilarious. I mean,
Wow.
so yeah, he was telling that story on Howard Stern one day, and I was getting a good kick out of it. But I can see that. I can see where you would make that comparison. Yeah,
That's
we have some.
awesome. Well, I'm glad I asked. Max, appreciate your time. This is so fun to talk to you. I really love this film. Out August 22nd in theater, so people can check it out on a big screen and just have a hell of a ride there. Like you said, flipping that popcorn and having that cold drink and just enjoying
Yeah.
a one heck of a detective journey here. So awesome work. Can't wait what's next for you too.
Thank
And
you.
hope to get to connect with you again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, anytime. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
Appreciate it. See you, buddy.